There's a specific kind of silence right before you open your banking app. You already have a rough idea what's in there. You're just hoping you're wrong in the right direction. And then life chooses that exact week to test you. The car starts making a sound it didn't make yesterday. A bill shows up that you swear you already paid. Someone at work says, "Hey, do you have a minute?" And your stomach drops before they finish. If you've ever felt like you're one bad Tuesday away from everything falling over, this video is for you. Because over the next 60 days, we're going to build a real emergency fund together, even if your account balance is currently making you laugh from pure stress. Welcome back to Tommy's Finance. I'm Tommy, and on this channel, we talk about money the way a friend would explain it over coffee, not the way a bank tries to sell it to you. Before the plan, I want to challenge something most people believe. I'll start saving once my life is more stable. I'd argue the opposite is true. You don't save to celebrate stability, you save to create it. An emergency fund isn't the reward at the finish line. It's what lets you stop running in the first place. Now, let's be honest about why saving feels almost impossible when money is tight. It's not laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's biology. When your finances are stressed, your brain shifts into what researchers call scarcity mode. In that state, it focuses on what's urgent right now, ignores problems that aren't on fire yet, and reaches for small comforts to take the edge off. So when someone tells a stressed out person to just save 20% of your income, it lands like telling someone with a flat tire to just drive better. The advice may not be wrong, but it is disconnected from reality. That's why this plan uses 2 ingredients instead of 1: simple math and a little behavioral psychology. You're not behind because something is wrong with you. You're behind because almost everyone is. Roughly a quarter of American adults report having no emergency savings at all. Only about half say they could cover 3 months of expenses if their income disappeared. And in survey after survey, money consistently ranks as one of the top sources of personal stress, ahead of work, relationships, and health for a huge slice of the population.
So if your shoulders tense up every time your phone buzzes with a bank notification, you are extremely, painfully normal, which means the solution doesn't need to be extreme either. Here's something most personal finance content gets wrong. It treats the emergency fund like a finish line instead of a first checkpoint. A $10,000 emergency fund is wonderful, but a $600 buffer is genuinely life-changing for one specific reason. It stops what I call the cascade. The cascade is when $180 problem turns into an overdraft fee, then a late fee on something else, then a credit card balance carrying 24% interest, then a tense conversation with someone you'd rather not borrow from. One small shock turns into 3 months of recovery. A modest emergency fund acts like a shock absorber. The pothole still exists, you just don't feel it in your spine. So our target for the next 60 days is $600, big enough to absorb the most common surprises: a tire, a copay, a utility spike, a small repair. Small enough that it's genuinely reachable, starting from almost nothing. $600 over 60 days works out to $10 a day. Now, before you close this video, I know, for a lot of people watching, $10 a day right now is not just sitting in a drawer waiting to be saved. So we're not going to find $10 a day by being more disciplined. We're going to build a system that produces it on its own, using 4 levers: reduce quiet leaks in your spending, add small, short-term income, put friction between you and impulse purchases, and automate everything so it doesn't depend on motivation. I call this the SSSS framework: separate, stabilize, squeeze, supplement. We'll run it as a 60-day sprint, broken into 4 phases of about 2 weeks each. Day 1 is not start saving. Day 1 is stop saving in the same place you spend. If your emergency fund lives in your checking account, it's not an emergency fund. It's a buffer that will quietly get absorbed into groceries and gas by the end of the month. Your brain treats visible, accessible money as available money. That's not a character flaw. That's just how the brain reads its environment. So here's the move for today. Open a separate savings account at any bank you trust. Online banks are fine. Many open in under 10 minutes. Name the account something blunt. Mine literally says, "Do not touch." For real. Sounds silly, works anyway. If your banking app lets you hide accounts from the main dashboard, hide it. You're not relying on willpower. You're designing your environment so willpower isn't required. Next, set up an automatic transfer and make it smaller than you think it should be. $5 a day is great. If 3 is honest, use 3. If $20 weekly right after payday is realistic, do that. The amount is not the point. The habit running without you is the point. People don't save because they wait to see what's left over. There is never anything left over. Money behaves like a gas. It expands to fill the container you give it. So, give it a smaller container. Time the transfer for the day after payday, not the end of the month. Automated, scheduled, boring. In your first week, hunt for the first $100. Not because $100 fixes everything, but because your brain needs proof this is working. Momentum is fuel. Use 3 high-leverage moves. First, cancel one forgotten subscription. Open your last 2 bank statements and scan for recurring charges. A streaming service, a converted free trial, an old app subscription. Even $9 a month matters because you're breaking the habit of paying for things you don't use. Second, install a 48-hour pause on non-essentials. For the next 60 days, anything that isn't food, fuel, or a bill waits 2 days. Not banned, just delayed. The enemy isn't your morning coffee. It's the unplanned $30 purchase you wouldn't make after sleeping on it. Third, sell one thing this weekend. Old electronics, a jacket you haven't worn, a kitchen gadget still in the rocks. One item, one weekend. Whatever you get goes straight into the new account. Most people don't have a budgeting problem. They have a leak problem. Leaks are small, frequent, and emotionally justified. I had a long day. It's only $12. I deserve this. So in week 2, do a 14-day audit. Pull up 2 weeks of transactions and label each one need, like, or drift. Need is rent, utilities, groceries, transport, insurance. Like improves your life, but could pause for 60 days. Drift is what you can't quite explain later. Your emergency fund is going to come almost entirely from the like and drift categories, not from skipping meals, not from canceling your life. Quick example with realistic numbers. Say the audit finds $22 a week on takeout, $14 on convenience store stops, and $18 on impulse online orders. That's $54 a week. Over 8 weeks, that's about $430, most of the way to the goal, before touching income. Food is where most budgets quietly bleed out. Not because people are irresponsible, but because food decisions happen when you're tired, hungry, or both. So for the next 60 days, do 2 things. First, pick 5 default meals and rotate them. Not forever, just for this sprint. The goal is to eliminate the daily "what should I eat" decision, because that's the decision that ends in a delivery app. Think cheap, repeatable meals. Rice and beans, pasta with simple sauce, oats with fruit and peanut butter, eggs with toast, or a sheet pan dinner using sale vegetables. Second, allow 1 planned treat per week. Planned is the key word. Remove all enjoyment and you'll rebound. And the rebound costs more. Restriction creates rebellion. Permission creates control. Cutting can only take you so far. After the first 2 weeks, shift from spending less to earning a little more. Not a side business, not a passive income empire. Short-term, realistic moves. Option 1, ask for more hours where you already work. This is usually the highest return on your time because there's no learning curve. 4 extra hours a week at $15 an hour is $60 a week. Over 4 weeks, that's $240, almost half the goal. Option 2, 1 focused weekend. Pick one thing. Delivery, tutoring, helping someone move, a freelance project, pet sitting, or basic handyman work nearby. Aim for around $150 in one weekend. Tiring? Yes, but this is a 60-day sprint, not your new lifestyle. Option 3, negotiate one recurring bill. Call your phone carrier, internet provider, or insurance company and ask, is there a cheaper plan I qualify for? Are there promotions I'm missing? Can any fees be removed? Shaving $20 off a monthly bill puts $40 in the fund over 60 days and keeps paying you after. Here's what most videos skip. Building the fund is hard. Not spending it later is harder. So set 2 rules before emotions get a vote. Rule 1. Define an emergency. It threatens your health, housing, ability to get to work, or basic utilities. It is not a sale, a vacation, boredom, or a rough week. Write that definition in your Notes app. When the moment comes, you'll be glad it's there. Rule 2. Replace before you add. If you have to use the fund for a real emergency, say $140 on an unexpected repair, your next savings goal isn't growing the fund, it's refilling the $140 first. This one rule is what keeps the fund alive instead of slowly bleeding out over a year. I'll share a story from a viewer. I'll call her Renee. Renee wasn't reckless with money. She was just stuck in the loop a lot of people are stuck in. Every month was tight. Every surprise expense went on a credit card, and every credit card payment made the next month tighten. She'd tried budgeting apps, multiple. They all worked for about 9 days. What actually moved the needle was almost embarrassingly simple. She opened a separate savings account at a different bank than her checking. She set an automatic transfer of $6 a day. She canceled 2 subscriptions, sold an old tablet, and picked up 1 weekend of dog sitting through a neighborhood app. By day 32, she had a little over $300 in the account. And then, predictably, life happened. Her car needed a brake job. The old version of Renee would have put it on a credit card at 24% interest and spent the next 6 months catching up. The new version paid cash, walked out of the shop, and went home. When she emailed me about it, she didn't talk about the money. She said this, "It wasn't the $300, it was knowing I could handle it." That's the entire point of this. We're not building wealth yet. We're building the ability to handle a random Tuesday without it derailing your year. I want to be straight with you for a second. Most people don't fall behind financially because they're irresponsible. They fall behind because they keep waiting until they feel ready to start. And meanwhile, life keeps sending bills. An emergency fund isn't a luxury you earn the right to have once your income hits a certain number. It's basic protection. It's a seatbelt. You don't decide whether to put it on after the accident. So here's what I'd ask you to do today, before this video stops playing. Open the separate account. Schedule the smallest automatic transfer you can honestly sustain. Pick one of the quick wins from this video to chase your first $100. If you want more videos like this, practical, no fluff, the kind of money advice a friend would actually give you, go ahead and subscribe. 60 days from now, you can be in the same spot you're in today, hoping nothing breaks. Or you can be the person who can absorb a bad Tuesday without it ruining the month. That second version of you is much closer than it feels right now. I'll see you in the next one.